Isn't this hover limo luxurious? The plush leather seats, widescreen hollow TV, and just you and me, my love. It would be a luxury if we were here just for fun. I can imagine us stepping into the party together, turning heads and networking, pretending that we are the social elite. But of course, we're here on a mission. So, we're actually party crashers. It's a good thing my friend Rini is part of an art show at the Nexus building tonight. I'm now 99% certain the spaceship that we discovered in your dream, the one that is holding Caspian Amari prisoner, is an Ironside VL science vessel, which is made by none other than Nexus Innovations. Thankfully, my friend Rini was able to get us an invitation. You can make your way through the party and to the Nexus main data center. They'll have the information we need to know exactly what's going on. It's extremely risky, crashing this party to reach the data center. Rini knows that something is up with this whole situation, but she hasn't asked too many questions, thankfully. So, are you sure that you really want to do this? If you're psychically linked to this Amari fellow, and he's being tortured aboard that ship, that could impact you mentally in ways that we can't even know. If we don't take the initiative and do something about it, who knows what might happen? Something to be mindful of is that the CEO, Voss, is also supposed to be at the party tonight. Because of the great lengths that we went to change your features, he shouldn't recognize you at all. But we know that he's still after your kaiju-influenced blood, so don't go through any biometric scanners, or they might detect that you're the one they're looking for. I'm a bit reluctant to stay behind and guide you from here. I'd rather be by your side as you risk the data raid. But it's best that I monitor your progress and use my cyberdeck to guide you when you run into problems. You're hoping there won't be any problems. Well, wouldn't that be nice? I could run operations from a worse place, I suppose. At least I'll be your girl in the chair, sitting in the luxury of a hover limo. Your bow tie needs a little readjusting. And just let me tighten up your tuxedo. Voila! This suit used to belong to my father. You do look quite dashing in it. When I came of age, I was given a locker that held some of my parents' things. It wasn't much, but this is one of the items that I still have to remember them by. I'm a bit worried about keeping it in safe condition. Your cybernetic implants are nearly popping out of the fabric. That would be pretty embarrassing if they were to rip or tear in the middle of the party. Try not to do anything too crazy while you're on the main floor. We're nearly at the main event. Try and act natural so you don't appear to be suspicious. I'm sorry. I promise to stop fussing. After all, it's not like this is the first time you've been on a mission. And with all of the mods you have installed, there's quite a few tricks we can pull when you run into trouble. But this one is personal, isn't it? Because of Voss and how he's been torturing this person that you're psychically connected to. Just know that no matter what happens tonight, I have your back. Look at the long line of limos we just joined. You see that giant light sculpture? The morphing animals that form the shape of a woman? That's Rini's work. She's actually quite talented. Okay, it looks like they want you to get out of the limo here. Give me a kiss, handsome, before you go. Be safe. I'll be guiding you through your cerebral transmitter from here on out, activating your Z5 ocular implant so I can see what you see. There's quite a lot of people here at this party tonight. A number of famous faces, too. Like over there, that's Dex Vortex. He's a legend in the virtual reality gaming world, a pioneer in full immersion neural gaming. His stuff is known for being controversial and edgy. Dex has changed how people think of virtual experiences. I've always admired his knack for pushing the boundaries, but his personality, from what I understand, is a bit narcissistic, as you can imagine. And the immensely beautiful blue-haired woman being photographed on the red carpet is Skylar Synthwave, a pop icon known for her live holographic shows. Rini is actually responsible for some of the radiant constructs at Skylar's concerts. Apparently, the two are becoming close friends. If you haven't heard the pop star's voice before, just know that it is absolutely heavenly. She also weaves in the themes, advocating equal rights for self-aware AI and robots. Her songs are definitely provocative. Of course, she's both loved and hated for the message that she's spreading. Is Skylar looking at you? I can see your heart monitor spiking. Eyes on the mission, Buster. This was your idea to infiltrate the building, so don't go fraternizing. What are you doing? Why are you taking a picture with her all of a sudden? Do I have to leap from this limo and remind you why you're here? I don't care if the crowd pushed you into it. Taking a photograph with the city's biggest celebrity is not a way to keep a low profile at all. Okay, just let me take a breath and calm down. Who knew being your girl in the chair could make me feel this way? I guess I'm being overprotective. We only have about 15 minutes before the guards change their shifts on the data level. If you're not in position by then, I don't know if we can get you inside in order to extract the information. I'm just going to pretend that Skylar Synthwave didn't just hand you her calling card. Keep pushing ahead. You're almost to the main entrance. Okay, these guards are the ones that will check your pass. You still have the one Rini gave you, right? Great. Looks like you're passing the security checkpoint and heading up the main steps. Wow. Rini really did a great job with the scenery. I can't believe how stunning the light shows are. It's like you've stepped into some kind of interstellar singularity. These twisting shapes have so much detail that I guess they must have some kind of meaning. Now, I'm marking the area you need to reach on your ocular display. That's where the elevator is, straight ahead. Get a higher vantage point, and let's scout the area before you advance. Wow, that is quite a crowd. Now, I'm really jealous that I'm not there with you. Sorry. I should take my own advice and stay focused. The sector with the elevator looks like it's cordoned off in the VIP area. That's a problem. I don't think there's any way to sneak through with so much security. Yes, fighting your way through is an option, I suppose. But then, the entire building will be alerted before we're even at the objective. Do you have any idea how to get through to the elevator? You want to find Rini and get her help to schmooze your way to it? That's a good plan. It could work. She does know who you are. I haven't said too much about you, but she knows a little. This might put her in harm's way, so be careful that she's not linked to the data heist. To find Rini, I suggest looking for a short Asian woman who stands out. She's got a thing for style, and she's good with making people pay attention to her fashion statements. It's how she manages to meet people like Skylar Synthwave, by being bold and making friends with the rich and powerful. If you find a large crowd taking holographs for the pop culture news feeds, you'll probably discover Rini. Well, I see you found the buffet table. Looks like they've spared no expense when it comes to the gourmet. I see encapsulated caviar, molecular sushi, and my personal favorite, which happens to be another creation of you-know-who. She even named them after herself, the Rini Pops. They're a bit like fortune cookies. As you take each bite of the dessert, they'll display images or playful messages above themselves. How did I know you were going to eat one of those Rini Pops? Let's see what it has to say about your fortune. Looks like a heart. Maybe it means something about the two of us. A bag of money. I don't know about that. We're not exactly rolling in dough by most comparisons. And a flame. That could mean a lot of things. One thing for sure is that you don't lead a boring life. I'm sometimes surprised how much we've been through together in such a short time. I hope that good fortune is in our future, if you believe in that kind of thing. Uh-oh, do you see that tall man with the silver hair? Standing to your left? That's Voss, the CEO of Nexus Innovations. It looks like he's talking to Dr. Clarissa Silvermain, the lead scientist of his technology department. She's the one with the hook nose and icy stare. She and I have butted heads a few times. She's even gone so far as to call my work a hack job and shoddy, which you can imagine how that makes me feel. She was the only judge who didn't vote for me when I won the tech prize. They both used to work with my mother when she was alive, so maybe there's some history there that I don't know about. Either way, Voss seems to think my ability has value, so much that he keeps taking advantage of my reliance on the monthly prize money payouts. It looks like your epinephrine levels are rising on my monitor. Don't go over there and make a scene. I understand if you feel protective of me, but despite how Voss might be taking advantage of my skills, having this prize money is the only way that I can afford to pay the mortgage on my workshop. We have to take some of the bad with the good, you know. I'm glad you're avoiding them. Thank you. Still no sign of Rini? Maybe she hasn't arrived at the party yet. Keep an eye out. We have to make sure we find her before the guards change shifts on the security level. While you look for her, I guess I can tell the story of how she and I met. It was 2 years ago, before I had my workshop, and while Rini was still a student at the Holo Design Guild, she found my services over the holonet because she needed help calibrating the emitter on one of her display pieces. It was acting up, distorting the images, rather than illuminating them in the precise kaleidoscope of colors she envisioned. At first, I thought she might be a bit unstable, because she arrived all flustered with tears streaming down her face. She needed the sculpture ready for a big competition that same night, and she was running out of time to fix it. The peculiar thing was that the images the device was rendering were more horrifying than intended. Rini enjoys inspiring and deep imagery that celebrates life. But the device was projecting crimson fangs, demons, and other oddities that were not her style at all. When I took a closer look, I discovered that there was nothing wrong with the emitter itself. But instead, there was a rogue signal hijacking the core CPU. It turns out that she was being sabotaged. I managed to trace the signal back to one of her rival students named Demona at the guild, who was also competing that same night in the gala. With that knowledge, we were able to correct the images on her sculpture, and I was going to leave it at that. But she asked me, can we reverse the signal and counter-sabotage Demona's sculpture instead? It wasn't the kind of thing I would normally do. I don't believe in revenge. But she was paying me an amount of credits that was an awful lot to me at the time. So I did what she asked and managed to ghost the signal so they'd never know who was responsible. That night at the gala, Rini's sculpture astonished onlookers with its beauty, while Damona's showed the president of the Hollow Guild eating a turd. I wasn't there personally, but Rini told me she felt bad later because they were starting to talk about kicking Damona out of the guild. Anyways, they found out Damona's display had been sabotaged, so her original work was counted in the competition. Rini still took first place. Thankfully, that helped build her career to the place that it is now. We've stayed close friends ever since then. Personality-wise, she's much edgier than I am. She loves to rock the boat with social commentaries, which is probably why she's good friends with Synthwave and helps promote equal rights for self-aware AI. Me, I prefer to stay in my workshop and keep my head down. Except, of course, when I'm riding in limos, helping my boyfriend execute delicate personal missions, infiltrating powerful corporate headquarters. Quite a mouthful, indeed. I should also mention that Rini is the reason I knew about Voss's Tech Prize competition. I'm not normally clued into that kind of thing, but she heard about it and encouraged me to join. So, here we all are, a very dysfunctional family in a way, with Voss hunting you for your kaiju marked blood, and Rini being the reason that we're able to get this far. Speak of the devil, there she is. She's coming from the red carpet. Does she know how to make an entrance, or what? I mean, look at that outfit she's wrapped in, all made of programmed hololights, lighting her up in a brilliant, ever-changing glow. It's like she's a living rainbow, the way the colors chase each other, shifting from one shade to another. It's plain to me, even through the feed on your ocular implants. Of course, she wouldn't stop there. I can't believe how the lights are spiraling into this dazzling column, then flows through her dress and towards her chest. I see the genius of it now, to make her face the center of it all. Quite clever. You can tell this one design says a lot about Rini, doesn't it? Turning something like walking into a party into a full-on performance. It's bold and intended to capture attention. I almost wish I was like her, but I'm too much of an introvert. With everyone snapping so many holographs of me, I'd faint from embarrassment. You say that I'm prettier than she is, and I don't even have to try? Thank you. It's really not how I see myself. I do like to occasionally dress nice, but not in big crowds. I'm most in my element, with clothes that I don't mind getting stained with grease and cybernetic fluids. I see you're making your way towards her now. You'll just have to mention the new name we gave you. She'll know exactly who you are. Right. Looks like things are going well. It seems she's caught the hint that you need her to go towards the VIP area with you. But here comes Skylar again. That's not good. These two can talk for hours. You have to do something to break them up. And now, I can't believe that Voss is joining your little group. He no doubt wants to be seen with the two women who are the talk of the party. If only he had any idea that you're the one who escaped from his strike team the other day. Well, I'm just the observer here watching, but I can tell this has turned into a real mess pretty quickly. If you take Rini towards the cordoned off area, Voss and Skylar just might follow her, and that won't work. If you're not up that elevator in 3 minutes, you won't be able to swap places with the security guard, and this mission will be a total wash. Okay, I just received your silent message, reading it now. You want me to mock up a broadcast announcement to capture everyone's attention so you can pull Rini away? That might work. I'll have to think and work fast. Okay, opening my Derez studio generation tools. Inputting storyline. Generating the video as quickly as I can with a quantum-boosted algorithm. All right. I'm piggybacking your Cortex integrator splicer to reach the party's light and sound systems. This will broadcast my deepfake in the air above the party. Subverting system. And done. Playing it back now. Yes, don't be shocked by what I came up with. I made a fake announcement that Voss and Skylar Synthwave are getting married. They won't like that because they kind of hate each other, from what Rini tells me. Yes, that has definitely caught their attention. Quick, grab Rini and have her get you into the cordoned off area. Yes, perfect. Oh my, it seems my fake newscast is causing all kinds of disruption. The crowd is fighting to get closer to the holo feed. Keep pressing through. Great. Security is letting you both into the area. No questions asked. You'll have to leave her here and take the transport up alone. Poor Rini. She has no idea what's going on. I'll never forget the expression on her face as the transport doors closed. I'm going to owe her a really nice bottle of wine when this is all done. The capsule is pretty fast, so you'll arrive at the guard station quite quickly. Okay, so you're looking for this man, Jack Ballinger, so you can borrow his identity. He should be at the guard station in this hallway. That's strange. There's only a woman sitting here? Wait, I just noticed that I missed a security update. He called in sick. He's being replaced by this guard. Her name is Samantha Lovitz. This might be a problem because we're going to use a full holo disguise to make you appear to look like her. But she's much shorter than you are by a foot. It's entirely possible the guard you're going to change shifts with will notice she's basically become a giant. But I suppose there's no choice. She's getting up to leave for her shift change. Okay, I see you've taken the initiative and hit her with your Series 2 Hyperstunner. I'm scanning her image and finished. I notice that even though you have to hide her unconscious body, that you're being gentle and considerate with her. That says something about the kind of person you are. So now, you'll need to take her security badge and start moving down the hall. I have some bad news. There's a netrunner sniffing through cyberspace for my location. I do have firewalls and decoys set up, but it's only a matter of time until he finds my location. He probably caught wind of us when we hacked the party display. He might have even been sent directly from Voss himself. I have about 5 minutes until he decrypts my location. I promise that I can focus under pressure. But the sooner you get the data on that science ship, the sooner I can retrieve you. You're near the data vault station now. Remember that full body disguises become disrupted when touching surfaces like handles, so be very careful with everything that you do. That's the guard behind the reinforced glass that you're going to swap places with. See if you can pretend that you're shorter. Can you, I don't know, scooch down a little or something? Are you smiling at the guard to appear friendly? Don't do that. My profiler says that Samantha Lovitz is definitely not the smiling type. Her base personality is 50% angry, 27% annoyed, and 23% cat lady. I didn't know that was an official thing. Yes, scowl. That's much more like her personality. Great. He actually seems scared of you. I guess she's not very popular with her fellow guards. Fantastic. He doesn't seem to suspect a thing. Now that you've taken over his shift, you can use Levette's security badge to access the data vault behind you. Your integrated splicer isn't strong enough to hack these series of firewalls, but don't worry. I have incursion programs I can run from my cyberdeck that can hack up to Class 5 encryption. Now that we're connected to the vault, I'm searching for the data we need. There's no file here for Caspian Amari, but there are mentions of a human subject with Kaiju-affected blood. Yes, now that I've brought up the data log, I recognize him. I'm also extracting all related files in reference to him. The Ironside VL science vessel is apparently called the Hephaestus. I have 78% of the data downloaded. It's quite a massive chunk of information. Oh no, the link has been disrupted. The netrunners know what we're doing. They know you've broken into the data center. It's time to get out of there. They've got my location too, in the limo. I have a plan. Leave the data vault and head towards the window at the far south of this corridor. Use your cybernetic arm to punch through the glass. It's reinforced hyperalloy glass, so you'll have to shatter it with your maximum setting. I'm remote controlling my Serenity X hovercar to pick you up there. You're worried about me? Well, think about me once you're safe. Get to the window while I maneuver the limo to rendezvous with you. I'm approaching now. I can see you breaking the glass. Great. Now I'm a bit afraid for this next part. We have to give Voss something to chase. So I'm keeping the cyberdeck connected to the limo's onboard dash. But we're 80 stories above the ground. I'm going to drop from here to the Serenity X. I trust you completely. Okay, here I go. Oof. That was scarier than I thought it would be, but I'm happy to be back in your arms. Okay, take the wheel of the Serenity and get us out of here. Looks like we got out of there in the nick of time. Nexus drones are moving to intercept the limo. I'm remote, controlling it to the Nakamura slums, the opposite direction of where we're going. Thankfully, it looks like we're not being followed. They've taken the bait into the slums. It looks like the Razor Gang pirates have spotted the limo. And now they're getting into a firefight with the Nexus drones. They both really want it, clearly for different reasons. Oh my, the limo just took a stray rocket from one of the bikes. It's dropping like a stone. And it's gone, probably obliterated when it struck the ground. Unfortunately, that's going to set us back about 10 million credits. The rental place will not be happy. I'm not sure how we can possibly pay that back. You don't want me to worry about it? You should have it covered? Okay, I'll trust you with that too. Well, our mission to get more information on Amari and why the corporation wants you has been a success so far. I could tell that you knew what you were doing. You were so brave and handled each situation with confidence. I knew you had experience with this kind of thing, but it was something else to watch you in action. You say that you couldn't have done it without me. We're a team now, right? I would do almost anything for you. I say that sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. Of course, now the whole city thinks Voss and Skylar Synthwave are in a romantic relationship together. They won't like that because they kind of hate each other, from what Rini tells me. I feel a bit guilty. I hope Rini doesn't get in trouble for any of this. I've done our best to cover our tracks so far. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I only had a short peek at the data when we were transferring it, but I have a feeling that we're about to reveal some pretty big secrets about Nexus innovations.